how a big heap of metal could have been a revolution. But think about it. When the typewriter was invented, people's lives were changed. People no longer had to spend hours and hours handwriting documents or books, and people could stop worrying about struggling to read someone's sloppy handwriting. Also, the typewriter helped employ hundreds of people. Many people helped create a typewriter over the years, so there wasn't one person who single-handedly invented it. However, people modified it over the years to get a proper functioning typewriter that changed the lives of many people. It all started in 1829 when a man named William Austin Burt invented the typographer, which was a predecessor to the modern-day typewriter. The typographer consisted of a wooden box, and at one end there was a swinging level for impressing. The typeface letters were mounted on the short sector attached to the underside of the level. Pressing down with pressure imprinted the letters selected on the paper. Burt's invention generated a lot of interest amongst people. However, it was never a commercial success. Then in 1867, John Pratt invented a different model of a typewriter and called it a Typewriter. A unique feature on his machine was that the typefaces were on a type plate, which was moved horizontally and vertically by the keys, and a hammer struck the paper from behind, driving it against the type. Again, this was unfortunately never a great commercial success. Then from 1870 to 1878, a man named Ramses Malling Hansen created a writing bell. He arranged the most frequently used letters to be manipulated by the fastest writing fingers. He attached the paper to a cylinder which moved by the help of an electronic battery. This makes the writing ball the first electronic typewriter. This was more successful than the typographer because it was sold throughout Europe for a very short period of time. However, due to the fact it was expensive, it was never a great commercial success either. Christopher Sholes invented the first typewriter that was successfully commercial. His inspiration came from John Pratt's Type. Sholes decided that the Type was too complicated and set out to make his own machine. At the start, he received help from two men named Carlos Giddon and Samuel W. Soule. After creating what they believed to be a successful model of the typewriter, they went to a man named James Densmore and were told they needed to make some improvements. Samuel and Carlos decided that this invention was a waste of time and money, so they left Sholes and Densmore. After creating about 50 different prototypes that were unsuccessful, they created a working model of the typewriter and sold it to a company, E. Remington & Sons. Although they sold it, Sholes continued working on improvements throughout the 1870s and eventually created the QWERTY keyboard. So what caused this revolution? Some people felt as if they should combine the need for both speed and communication and for the binding of reading and writing. The two impacts this revolution had were: 1. There were less errors in understanding the information being presented because of the standardized fonts, which meant no more messy handwriting, and 2. People could prepare books and documents faster. Books could be made in months as opposed to years. How did the invention help today? Well, the QWERTY is the most used modern-day keyboard layout. The name comes from the first 6 letters appearing in the top row of the keyboard read left to right on any computer.